Picture this. The USSR, where even the nesting dolls had layers of classified information, in the midst of all its Borch fuels debates, they rolled out the MiG-23, the fighter jet that made Top Gun look like a Sunday stroll. The MiG-23 was so fast that if you'd blinked, you'd missed it. And if you sneezed, you'd accidentally invade a neighbouring country. It was like the USSR's way of saying, we might not agree on everything, but you can all appreciate a fighter jet that's faster than a cat trying to escape a bath. The plane was so well travelled, it could have written its own Lonely Planet guide, MiG-23 World Tour, from Moscow with thrust. It went from country to country like a flying diplomat, spreading more goodwill than a peace sign waving dove. So here's the MiG-23, the jet that turned Cold War tension into international attention and had more frequent flyer miles than your grandma's knitting club combined. Hello Mental Gen. Today I will show you how to effectively fly the MiG-23. In this video, we'll go through all the different variants, the weaponry, and basic tactics on how to fly this thing very well. Basically the opposite of a person who's called Dan Sloper, also known as Omega-1411. The Soviets were bored and saw that the Americans made the Tomcat mobile. As usual, the servants of Stalinium had to have the last laugh and make a counter, or at least try to. In this case, they didn't make an aircraft, they just made a rocket, a swing wings and a cockpit, and just called it a day. Moving on to the weaponry, my good friend Tosha Matonovich can tell you how amazing the R60Ms are. He can personally advocate so many amazing moments where the R60 have decided to ignore the flare and hit the target. But alongside the R60, you have somewhat of an interesting semi-active radar homing missile, being the R24R, which is actually a pretty decent missile. Also alongside the R24R, you also have the R24T, which is, again, the infrared version of the R24R. You got the MLA, which is the German export of the MLD, you got the MiG-23 ML, the MiG-23 MLD, and the MiG-23M. And if you also want to include it as well, you could also say the MiG-27, which is essentially just a ground strike version of the MiG-23. Be wondering, Warthunder, what exactly is the difference between all these variants of the MiG-23? Well, that's why you clicked on this fucking video, didn't you? I'm about to fucking explain to you. Starting off, the MiG-23 MLA. This is automatically the best variant because I'm definitely not biased, and I'm definitely not a German name because I definitely do not have a ridiculous number of hours playing German. But seriously, why is it the best? Because I fucking say so. Well, then you got the MiG-23 ML, and it's an MLA that you can buy for Russia. That's about it. Also have the MiG-23 MLD, and it's an MLA, but actually in the Russian tech tree. And you've also got the MiG-23M, an MLA that doesn't do the MLA part. And you also got those people that be like, oh, MiG-Thunder, what about the MiG-27? Well, I'll fucking tell you about the MiG-27. The MiG-27 is fucking dog shit. It's got the worst flight performance out of all the MiG-23s, and it can't even carry air-to-air fucking missiles. It's completely useless for air RB. For ground RB, however, it's pretty good. But you're not going to use a MiG-23 for fucking ground RB. Well, I mean, that's what the MiG-27 is for, but anyways, that's not the point. I also would just like to say, if you really do, and I mean really do consider choosing the MiG-27 over any of these MiG-23s, I really highly advise that you find your local ridge and perhaps consider jumping off. Moving on to the strengths and weaknesses of the aircraft, the first strength I'd love to talk about is the fucking engine. Yes, you see that engine that's the size of fucking Mars and also has more power than fucking third world countries? Yeah, because of that, it means you have a very fucking good thrust to weight ratio. I mean, just look at the fucking thing. Like, you're fucking quick. Like, you're fast. Like, you are speed. You are him. You are fucking, nobody's fucking outrunning you on the deck. I mean, maybe a MiG-29, but still, you're fucking quick. Like, look at this shit. Another strength is the fucking wings. Like, can you just take a second to look how fucking enormous those are? Like, they're huge. And because of this, you have very good maneuverability, kind of like the F-14, and not many things will be outrating you. Maybe an F-14 and an F-16. Well, not maybe, definitely. But they are wing big, wing good. And the third strength of the MiG-23 is the ability to carry the R-24R and the R-24T, which I mentioned before are pretty decent missiles. And now we have the weaknesses. Buckle up, bucko. The first weakness I'd like to talk to you guys about is the R-60s. They are dog shit. Like, they are really fucking bad. Like, they pull hard off the rail and they're decently quick, but the range on them is very limited, and the flare resistance, well, let's just say the flare resistance is like my dad. Not really there. And moving on to the radar, the radar's kind of mid. Like, it's not a very good search radar, and they can't really pick up things that well. And when you lock something, the second they start to notch, they kind of disappear. Like my dad. The main gun of the MiG-23, the Gish-23, is it's also really slow. Like very slow. It hits hard, but it's difficult to aim, and it's like really, really slow. And the final thing isn't really to do with the aircraft itself. It's the battle rating. It's terrible. 11.3 just doesn't exist in today's top tier environment because, well, it's mainly just up tiers, and down tiers happen very rarely. And in an up tier, there's not really much you can do. Like, you can't really do anything against the F-16s or the MiG-29s, and you kind of just eat shit, really. Now, you might be wondering, Mig-Thunder, that's all well and good, but how the fuck do I actually fly this plane? Well, if you shut the fuck down and shut the fuck up, I'm about to fucking tell you. Well, how you play the plane really depends on what BR you're at. If you get up-tiered, basically, don't fly like an interceptor. Don't go high, hug the ground, stay low, and stay very fast. But if you're in a down tier, do the opposite. Go high, go very, very fast, and if you're carrying the R-24R, try and see if you can do some BVR, really. And because at that BR, no one can really do anything against you unless FRSs get down tiered. If that's the case, you can still beat them, they're still an NF4, they're not really that big of a deal. Yeah, just play as an interceptor and boom and zoom. That's how simple it is, really. And other than that, you can kind of decide how you want to play this plane, because it's so strong in flight performance that you can kind of just get away with doing everything, apart from top tier. Top tier, you need to watch what you're doing, because there are just planes that can do everything better than you. And because of that, the planes that you really want to avoid at top tier is any F-16 or MiG-29, and even like a Mirage 2005F, because they will fuck you up. And yeah, really, that's about it, to be honest. The MiG-23, very strong platform. Just make sure that you're not shit. And that's it for today's video, really. Guys, this is like my first proper, like, somewhat video, if that makes sense. I'd appreciate it if you liked the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, make sure to comment, and even share. You know, just help me out. You know, I'm trying to do this for real, man. But anyways, I'll see you guys later.
I never answer to no, man, I still go. Hustle